This is Danny Trejo, and you just heard.
Welcome into another episode of You Heard, where celebrities, athletes, and influencers help us get ready for Sunday. In today's episode, we have actor Danny Trejo joining us. Danny, thanks so much for taking the time to help us get ready for this big Week 14 matchup. First question for you. When did you start to cheer for the Rams?
Well, God, I've been a Rams fan since really they started. I grew up in Los Angeles, and when they came to LA, I think my mom and dad bought me a Rams uniform in 1951. Yeah, I think I was. Yeah, I think I was about 7 years old, and then I've been a Rams fan ever since. And then when they left and went to St. Louis, uh, I wasn't too much of a fan. I was more of just what's a point spread, and and then God came back. It's like I got another Rams uniform.
How excited were you when you heard that the Rams were coming back to LA beginning the 2016 season?
Put your bets down. I mean, it was just like it was just so awesome. It was my team, and God, and then lately last year with big number 99, we did great. They've been doing good. I think they're gonna they have their hurrahs coming real soon. I think I got the Bills. The Bills right now are like by 4 points. I think the Rams are going to surprise everybody, so the Bills better get ready. Yeah.
All right, the Rams might surprise everybody. What have you thought of their season so far? They're 6-6, but they still have an opportunity to win that division, the NFC West. Sean McVay, we know him as a really impressive offensive guru with some awesome pieces in place, but at times they've struggled. What have you kind of taken away from this season so far?
Well, you know what? It's like it's funny. It's like they panic sometimes. You see them like kind of panic and start. What do we do? What do we do? But they seem to always kind of like calm down, and it's usually the last the last games of the season are always like nail biters for the Rams, but they pulled through, and I honestly believe that this is gonna be it's gonna be a pretty good end of the season.
Okay, predicting a pretty good end of the season for the Rams. When it comes to the Bills, what do you know about the Buffalo Bills, Danny?
Well, you know what? Anybody that can play in the kind of weather that they're used, they're tough. You know what I mean? So I hope we have a really hot summer day because I've noticed that teams from the East, if it's a hot day, they don't do as well as they do in the snow.
We might have to crank up the temperature in our indoor field as we're preparing for this LA game if you're saying it might be a hot day. Outside, we've got about a foot and a half of snow right now, so quite a different climate when you think about the two locations that these two teams are based in. Josh Allen is Buffalo's quarterback. It doesn't matter if you're a Bills fan, if you just watch the NFL at large, you know him as a great quarterback. What do you like about Josh Allen's game?
You know what? I mean, it's like first of all, it's like you have to have like just the love of the game, and Josh he's almost like the same as the Chiefs quarterback.
Patrick Mahomes.
You're just like, okay, guys, here we go. You can picture those guys in a sand lot somewhere, just playing in tennis shoes and shorts and just tackling each other. So it's like it's gonna be a great game. I'll tell you that much. It's gonna be a really good game.
Yeah. Josh definitely gives off those vibes. I mean, against the 49ers last week, he had a passing touchdown, a receiving touchdown, and a rushing touchdown. The first quarterback to ever do something like that. So that was really fun to watch. Danny, I want to talk about your amazing acting career. You've been involved in so many different films. You were in Machete, From Dusk Till Dawn, Heat, Spy Kids, and so many more. Is there a favorite film that you've been a part of?
Well, Machete was my starring role, but there hasn't been a movie made like Heat. Heat was like De Niro, Pacino, Val Kilmer, Tom Sizemore, John Boyd, everybody, anybody that was anybody. And when I got included in that, uh, wow, I kind of had to even tell myself, hey, you kind of made it, dude. and uh, and it's funny because I did Heat, and then we asked Robert De Niro if he would do Machete with us, and he was sure, yeah, do anything for Dan. I was like, so he came in and did Machete, which was automatically, and it was funny because every time I was fan struck. Robert De Niro says, and every time I would see him, I'd always imitate him. I go, you, hey, you, number one, you, number, and so I was on Heat, and so when I ran into him on Machete, he went, you, hey, number, and so God, it was like, I wish I would have recorded it. Yeah.
What an awesome memory. Since you've been a part of so many different films, you spoke about De Niro. Is there any favorite actor or actresses that you've been able to work alongside with?
You know what? I have worked around some of the most beautiful women in the world. I'm just unbelievable. Like you, it's just it's like Selma Hayek is absolutely stunningly gorgeous. And she asked me, "Well, Danny, what are you doing on Thanksgiving?" And I said, "Oh, my kid's mom takes them up with grandma, and they go up north." And she, "Well, what do you do?" I said, "I get some chicken pot pie somewhere." She invited me to her house for Thanksgiving and with her family because she didn't want me to be alone. I thought, wow, that is just like to think of somebody, that you've just worked with. You're not, and it was like just a really nice Thanksgiving, and more and more you find that people that are blessed with this work that we have just really try to be grounded.
Yeah.
The people
So
that don't, and they don't last.
so cool. I'm sure you've got like a top three list in your mind of people that you've worked alongside of. Are there a few people that you've been starstruck to come across to be a part of your films, to be on set with you?
You know, Ashley Judd, I worked with Ashley Judd, amazing lady. De Niro, Al Pacino, Val Kilmer's been my friend for years, and uh, I, it's funny because Val had a jacket, right, a leather jacket. I touched, I said, now that's a leather jacket, right, beautiful jacket. And then 3 days later, I seen this jacket hanging in my dressing room, right, and wow, and and it was that same kind of jacket, just a sweetheart. I gave him a key that said, "I'll be your huckleberry." I I uh, I still think he should have won an Oscar for Doc Holliday.
I love it. Are there any Rams or NFL players that you think would do a great job if they moved into becoming an actor and becoming a part of movies and films?
You know, I used to sneak in to the Coliseum when when the Rams played, back in the 50s, and me and three of my friends would like just get in with the family and just walk in. And I mean, I remember like Elroy Crazy Legs Hirsch. And
Hmm.
uh, God, man, blank. Bob Waterfield, a whole bunch, just a lot of Night Train Lane, a lot of old guys that were just like unbelievable, you know.
Mhm.
And the more you try to think about it, the more I forget. But I've loved the Rams since, I mean, since whenever, you know. And I think uh, it's going to be a fun Super Bowl. Naturally, I hope the Rams will be there. Let's see what happens.
Well, the Rams have been a part of a Super Bowl run under Sean McVay, earning the Super Bowl for the 2021 season. Are there any favorite memories that top the list? You said you've been a fan since the 50s, sneaking into the Coliseum. You know, followed them through their time in St. Louis, back in LA now. Are there any games, any seasons that you just think are unforgettable in your mind?
No, I just, God, right now I'm just drawing a blank. I just like, I, I, uh, I wish I could be at this game, but where am I gonna be, Mike? Ohio. I gotta be in Ohio this, so I won't miss the game, but
Bummer.
yeah, yeah.
All right, well, you're going to be in Ohio. You're still up to a bunch of things. You're still very busy. Do you have anything coming up? What's the latest for you, Danny?
Yes, you know, I've got a thing called Mysteries Unearthed. It's December 6th, and it's kind of like the William Shatner show, but it's about finding things, not so much looking for them. A lady was digging in her backyard and ended up with finding a Roman temple, you know, in England and in New York, you know, when they were digging for the World Trade Center, they found a battleship, a warship from the from the Revolutionary War, and all that stops the construction, you know, because they have to, what is it, eminent domain or something. I don't know. You have
Hmm.
history takes precedent.
Wow, so cool. We will be looking forward to that. That sounds amazing. Danny, thanks so much for taking the time to get us ready for Sunday, talk through your fandom of the LA Rams and just what you've been up to in your career. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, dear. Thank you. This was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Danny.
Go
Appreciate it.
Rams.